Hey, everybody, welcome. And you know what time it is? It's showtime. So what we've done is to compile a bunch of little 2-minute warnings, just little segments of what's happening at the show. And that's just a fraction of what's happening at the show. So check it out. And if you have any questions, do not ever hesitate to email us either at showdirector@amherstrail.org, the show office at amherstrail.org. That's just show office at amherstrail.org, or give us a call. We look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, and have a great one. Here we go. Hey, everybody, it's John Sacerdoti here with yet another 2-minute warning. And this one is all about did you know? Little factoids about the show and maybe a pop quiz or two in there to see if anybody knows how we've been doing things over the years. So did you know that we use a train horn from a diesel locomotive, a single chime, to start the show every year? And it usually is answered back by the folks from Maine Locomotive Works in Adaville. And we have a little horn war going on to start the show. It's a lot of fun, actually. We actually have a 5-chime. We actually have 2 of them. I need to hook up one, but they're so darn loud. I worry about where we're going to place it. Because you could hear this from like 20 miles away. So we'll see what happens in future years. So did you know that there are 2 Dunkin' Donuts on site inside the buildings? And they're not paying for a spot. Trust me, I just like Dunkin' Donuts. So anyways, there are there. And the folks that are close to those areas in the Better Living Center and the Young Building, they love it. So interesting stuff. So here's a pop quiz for you. We have 355 exhibitors this year. 4 years ago, we had 412. And now this year, we're taking more space. So the question is why? And I'll come back with the easy answer a little bit later on in this 2-minute warning. So here's a couple for exhibitors that I'm sure are watching these. Did you know that we have an exhibitor lounge in the upstairs of the Better Living Center? It's a nice quiet place for you to relax a little bit. Restrooms up there, the whole bit. You could bring food up there, all kinds of stuff. A little nice thing for exhibitors. Did you also know, and this one makes me chuckle every time, that we have what's called bio break service? And what that means is if you come to the show on your own, you sometimes are so crowded, so inundated with folks that you don't have anybody to watch your booth while you need to go bio break or even get something to eat. Well, if you call our office, we'll send a floor manager over to watch your stuff, your goods, while you take a bio break or go get something to eat. So that's a service that people really never knew about, and we learned that from experience. So keep that in mind as well. Also, did you know that kids 15 and under, when accompanied by an adult, are free? And as long as I'm around, that's how that's going to stay. We are trying very hard to promote the hobby for kids. And that's one way we're doing it. It costs you nothing. If you can't drive, you can come to this show for free. In other words, if you're 15 and under, you get in for free. Cool. Did you also know that every dime, because we have a lot of people that say, oh, you must make a lot at the show. Well, on good years, we do. But did you know that every dime we make after expenses goes to our nonprofit grant program, and we give all of it away? So what we do is we find other nonprofits, they formally apply for our grant program, and they're always looking to restore things, maybe a scholarship. So the library needs some books. If you're a nonprofit, you're eligible for a grant. And if the board of directors selects that grant, you receive money. And that's what we've been doing. Did you know from 1991 to present, we've given over $850,000 away? That's pretty cool. I hope I make it to the million mark. That's what we're trying for anyways. So very cool. So let me check my notes and see what else we have. Oh my God, this could go on forever. Did you know that we have a quiet room for kids and parents that can't stand the buzz of the large crowds? Moms that sometimes need to get away with their child, with their infants, we have a quiet room in a nice living room setting for those people. And it's available on a first come, first served basis. So the answer to the pop quiz, we have fewer vendors this year, but we're taking more space. We're actually taking every bit of indoor space in those 4 buildings. And it's because of the layouts. We have many more large layouts coming to the show. Fremo N is taking 3,000 square feet. The folks at the Reading Historical Society have a layout that's 18 feet by 160 feet long. Not to mention our own Amherst Beltlines that has over 8 scale miles of track. So we've got some huge layouts this year. Did you know that we have exhibitors from all over the world? We have exhibitors from the United Kingdom, dozens from Canada, and on occasion, an Australian exhibitor when he can make it. But soon we'll have some from Germany and other places, but from all over the United States, not just New England. We've got people from Montana, Oregon, California, Florida, you name it, and they come to this show. Did you know that this is now called the Bucket List Show? Not my favorite, but my point is it's a must-see show. And finally, did you know that we have 2 free shuttles that run all day long, half hour before the show, half hour after the show, between the Union Station in Springfield and Door 7 at the Better Living Center? They just run all day long, staggered. There's one that comes along every 15 or 20 minutes at most. Catch it right in the main lobby of the Union Station. It travels through the center of Springfield, stops at the corner of the Springfield Monarch Hotel and the Marriott, and then heads across the bridge over to the Door 7 in the Better Living Center. And I'll leave you with this trivia. The bridge over the Connecticut River, the Memorial Bridge. Email me if you know what movie that was ever in. I'll be in shock if some of you know that bridge was featured in a movie many years ago. So let me know. And if not, I'll tell you in a I don't know when I'll tell you, probably in another 2-minute warning, but that won't give you much time to email me. So you know what? I'll save that for the train show. So that's it for this time, and we'll see you again. That was probably more than a 2-minute warning, wasn't it? But anyways, we'll see you next time. Hey, everybody, this is John Sacerdoti, and I'm coming to you from the office of the Amherst Railway Society's Railroad Hobby Show. It is a wreck, as you might imagine this time of year, but I've deliberately surrounded myself with one of our first items that I'd like to cover in what we're calling 2-minute warnings. It's got that football analogy to it, but we're going to talk for just a couple of minutes and give you some previews of what's going to be at the show this coming 28th and 29th of January. So our first 2-minute warning is all about Dick Elwell and the collection that we're going to have there. Many of you know Dick passed away about 2 months ago now, and we are taking care of his collection for his family. And what we have here is just a few of the many buildings, 200 plus buildings, 200 plus cars, locomotives, many of which have been labeled for the Hoosick Valley Railroad, and all his detailed structures like I've never seen. Forgive me just for a minute. I'm going to pan a little bit with the camera so you get to see a little bit of what's going on. But there's all kinds of seriously detailed buildings. And then back, and I'm going to move my head just to one side so you could see the trees. We've got over 50 boxes of those trees from Dick's layout, and they're just gorgeous. It's that mix of fall scenery. All of this is going to be at the Railroad Hobby Show on January 28th and 29th. We encourage you to come and see us. We'll be set up in the Section 9 area of the Better Living Center, all with the Elwell collection and a few extras as well. So tons of things to look at. My 2 minutes are up. Thanks. Watch for us again when we talk about more extras at the show. Thank you. Hey, everybody, this is John Sacerdoti bringing you another edition of the 2 Minute Warning. This is all about the new kids on the block. And we've got 35 new exhibitors this year, and I'd love to tell you about some of them. Of the 35, some have taken a few years off and they're back. So my rule of what makes someone new this year is if they didn't come the year before. If they took a year off for whatever the reason and then they're back, I just want people to be alerted that, hey, they weren't last year, they weren't in the show last year, but they are now. So let me just highlight a couple of them, tell you a little bit about these folks. The first one I want to talk about is A&S Trains. And you'll see them this year in the Young Building. And they are a new couple to the business, young, husband and wife team, and they sell all kinds of great stuff. You got to see them. And they really are trying to bring life back into the hobby, the young people back into the hobby, and I really applaud what they're doing. So you'll look for them. Another is the Central Connecticut G-Gaugers. It is a massive G-scale layout, and it's right in the center of the Young Building. You won't miss it. But then there's a couple other guys that I just love their names, and it makes me perk right up, like the Dining Car Society. They'll be in the Better Living Center this year in 52C. That might be a G as I look without my glasses. But they are all about what it was like to be in a dining car back in the day. And they've got some really interesting things to show you. Here's one I really like. It's the Gray Granite Railroad. They're down in, I believe, South Glastonbury, Connecticut, and it's on Kavanagh's farm. And they have a one-to-one prototype, is what I mean by one-to-one, prototype railroad that takes you on just a short ride down to Santa's Village in the Christmas season and down to Pumpkins and all that, but you're actually riding on real train cars and a real locomotive. So that's something to see as well. For those of you that are into a little bit more prototypical modeling, Iowa Scaled Engineering with their famous proto throttles will be here this year, and they'll be in the Better Living Center as well. And then, you know what I should have said in a segment that I've entitled, Did You Know? Did you know, I'm saying it now, did you know that if you have a collection that you want to sell, you could actually purchase tables for 1 year and sell the collection? And I've got a couple of people doing that with Diana Cantor and Ken Royal. And they have got some great stuff. And it was from collections from either the family or friends that they've had for years. And it's really something to see. So check them out. Mini prints I have to mention, and I've already mentioned in another 2-minute warning about the scanning, but they have a collection, scanning aside, they have a collection of small details that are just great for anybody's layout. And I got a call maybe 3 weeks ago from this airtime from a company that I said, whoa, I thought you guys were dissolving, and to not prolong the who are you talking about? I'm talking about MTH. They're back. A lot of the employees are back owning the business or working it out so that they can. And they're back in the exact same spot in the Young Building. It was such a high visible spot that I hold it open for each year. And when the guys from MTH called, I said, how'd you like your own spot back? And they said, what? And I said, yeah, you got it if you want it. So I'm so happy to see them back in the business. And we'll talk a little bit more in a separate segment, but the NMRA national and local folks will be here too. The NMRA national for the first time ever, so that'd be kind of cool. And we've got the Northeast Quarter Historical Society and their layout with us in Mallory, and we've got the Reading Technical an historical society with their monster layout. And here's what I really want to highlight. We've got Roca prototype models, and they've got models like I've never seen before. The detail on these, very modern auto racks, but the detail on these cars are like, wow. So you've got to go see them. They're in the BLC in section 50 in tables I and J. But these models will knock your socks off. These are really something to see. So I love bringing these new people into the show that have new technology, new style, and it really keeps the hobby alive. I'm really happy to see that. And how diverse are we? Well, we've got scenery sheets that'll sell scenery material, but we've also got, for the first time ever, the Tunnel Inn, where you could actually stay right by the railroad tracks. And this is a very famous place down in Pennsylvania. So they will be here this year as well, also in the BLC in section 4. So that's just about half of the new folks that are going to be here. So check them out. Make sure when you look at your directory online, or when you receive or download a directory, look for those that where it says new this year, and you'll get an idea of who they are. And we spread them all over the buildings. Just a little known fact, guys, we don't like putting all one type in one building. We want you to see everything that's a part of the show. So that's why we spread people out, so there's something to see everywhere. I don't think there's a bad spot in this 350,000 plus acre square foot show. That would be interesting if it was 350,000 acres. So about 100 hectares. Crazy. But anyway, check out these new folks. And even if it's just to say, hey, and welcome to the show, make them feel welcome, and let them know that this is the place to be. Thanks very much, and we'll see you on the next. Hey, everybody, welcome to our next segment of the preview of the Railroad Hobby Show, given to you in 2-minute warnings. So our next segment is all about the National Model Railroad Association, the NMRA, and they are having their winter board meeting at our show for the first time ever. So they're going to be meeting all Friday, January 27th, at the Young Building, and they are entertaining some of their board members from Australia and Canada, the UK, and the United States, of course, with their new president, Gordon Robinson, from the UK, of course, as many of you know. The NMA, easy for me to say. The National Association will also have a booth at the Railroad Hobby Show for the next 2 days. That's Saturday and Sunday, the 28th and 29th of our show. And the board members and department heads will be on hand to answer all kinds of questions, not to mention the promotion of the 2023 convention in Texas. I am so thrilled that they are finally here. And some of the local chapters will be right across the way. And this is all going to take place in the Better Living Center, guys. So make sure you come and see the standard bearer of so much in this industry, the National Model Railroad Association, the NMRA. And before I forget, one of the new SIG groups, the special interest groups, Women in Model Railroading, will have representatives there. And I'd love to have everybody come on over and talk and see what that's all about. I look forward to having them there. So thanks very much. So I'll give you 2 Shane Wilsons for at least 1 Otto von Drack, a player to be named later, and a Steve Murphy. So let me know what you think about that. And hold on a minute. I'm in the middle of a 2-minute warning. You know what? I'll call you back. So what that's all about, ladies and gentlemen, is all these playing cards We were discussing the other day that mini prints will be at the show with their scanning. And we're thinking, God, it's going to turn into playing cards. I'll give you 2 sacerdotes for 1 or 2, 3 other players. And we can all have each other on our other layouts. And somebody else said, yeah, let's all get together. We can have like a meeting on somebody's layout. I said, that's how crazy this is going to get. So these will turn into trading cards. I kid you not. So you each get 5 people of a scale of your choice, and it'll take about 2 weeks or so to get to you. But oh my gosh, what a riot this is going to be. And even if you can't sign up anymore, you have to watch how this is done. This is unbelievable. So Bernard will be there. The area will be cordoned off because the place will be mobbed just to watch people getting scanned. I can't wait to see it. So we'll see you at the show, 28th and 29th. And look for this particular area right by door 8 in section 19, I think. And we'll see you there. 2-minute warning. Time out. See you next time. Hey, everybody, this is John Sacerdoti, show director at the Amherst Railway Society, coming to you again with another 2-minute warning. If you look at the background in this projection, that is me standing on a hillside just outside of Oakland, Maine, on my Berlin, Bangor, and Maine layout. And if you're ever in the area, you'd be absolutely welcome to come and see this. However, what are we talking about in this 2-minute warning? We are talking about virtual Railfan. And the folks at Virtual Railfan, guys, are going to be at section 34B in the Better Living Center. But the reason why I want to talk to you about them is you know them as the folks that stream live camera shots from railroads at stations, crossings, wherever they can get a good shot at trains all over North America. And soon to be even further away. So anyways, at the show, like last year, they're going to have 3 streaming live cameras. And here's the trick to this. They're going to be at certain poles in the building. And I'm trying to think where I wrote that down. Oh, here they are. They're going to be in the Better Living Center at pole 63, and we will have these all marked. But if those of you that know our diagrams, you'll be able to get a little head start. They're going to be in the Young Building at pole 1, and they're going to be in the Mallory South Building at pole 8. And they were streaming live last year, and I got back from the hotel, or to the hotel, at 11 o'clock at night. I said, well, let me just see how it's streaming. And there were 105 people watching. And I'm thinking, what are they watching? And they were just watching the show with all the coverings and everything. Interesting stuff. But here's the deal. Go to the show, find one of those cameras, wave to the camera while you're on the phone and stream live, and wave to yourself while you're recording it and posting it on Facebook. How insane is that? So you'll find them, again, Virtual Railfan, in the Better Living Center, right next to Scale Trains. You can't miss them. They're pretty much smack dab in the middle of the Better Living Center. But the poles, actually the pole at pole 63 in the Better Living Center will be shooting at Virtual Railfan, so you'll be able to see what's going on. So if you stand in front of their booth and wave, you'll be able to see yourself on television. You got to hold your cell phone up while you're doing it, though, and you can wave. And if I'm in the area, come on over and we'll do a little live thing together if you want. So that's our 2-minute warning. That's what's going on. Watch for the Virtual Railfan, folks. It will be another killer show, and it'll be fun. So I'll look forward to seeing you there January 28th and 29th. And if you haven't figured it out yet, these little 2-minute warnings are just previews to what's going to happen at the show. So there's more, and we'll be back with the next one. Take care for now. Hey, everybody, that wraps up all our 2-minute segments, which has been compiled into a preview of what's going to happen at the 2023 Railroad Hobby Show, January 28th and 29th at the Better Living Center, the Stroh Building, the Young Building, the Mallory North and South Complex, all at the Eastern States Exhibition Fairgrounds. We open on Saturday at 9 till 5 and Sunday 10 till 5. So I look forward to seeing you all there. But one more thing. Before I go, I want to thank the folks at Virtual Railfan for helping us produce this. And we've got a little thing we'd like you to see. Take it away, Virtual Railfan.